Hello everyone, I'm Blake Miller and welcome to the Vitality Network. I have something very special to share with you today. This is ozone therapy for the prevention of lifestyle-induced diseases. But before we begin, I have to say this, okay? Nothing is going to cure you of anything if you don't stop doing what's caused the problem in the first place. You can't keep eating the same foods, hanging around the same negative people, doing the things that you hate that are sucking your energy dry and killing you. You have to change the things in your life that has made you miserable. It's not just what goes in your mouth. It's the whole package deal. You have to stop doing certain things and let go of certain things that you're hanging on that are killing you. You have to clean out your life, clean out your body. And once you've done doing this, you start putting the good stuff back in. What I'm about to share with you is just the fine-tuning, the things that can just knock out that last bit of whatever is bothering you. So don't think you can get rid of cancer by taking some magical herb or fancy therapy, okay? So you have to take responsibility of your own life and your choices. So having said that, let us begin. The title of this, guys, is Ozone Therapy for the Prevention of Lifestyle-Induced Diseases. But before we prevent anything, okay, we first must dissect the cause of disease right now. As the latest research right now is once they're thinking it was genetic and hereditary, or now they're saying it's toxicity. And over the 20 years I've been researching the human body and detoxification, and all the doctors I've worked with around the world, I've come across two issues. These are the main two issues that are taking us out, is lymphatic acidosis and bowel toxemia. So let's look at this for a second. What is acidosis and bowel toxemia? Okay, these are lifestyle-induced conditions spurred from eating toxic, nutritionally depleted food, processed food, lack of exercise, insufficient water intake, emotional toxicity, okay, breathing toxic, deficient, oxygen deficient air, lack of cleansing in one's lifestyle, which is the big one, and finally, not enough sunshine. Eating toxic food with fake little or no nutrition. Right now, the tips for eating in the current times, we have to stop counting calories and start counting chemicals. Okay, we are eating undigestible, processed foods that are sticking to our intestines. This is causing all types of problems. Okay, it's blocking our ability to absorb our food. Our food is what gives us our minerals and our vital nutrition for proper immune function. With no mineral absorption, we cannot combat the acidity. And right now, almost every diet I work with our people, most people's diets are very, very, very acidic. And in acidic environments is where disease thrives. Okay, if you've ever heard the expression, death starts in the colon, and it's so, so true. What goes in must go out. Even if we go through all the trouble of oxygenating, hydrating, mineralizing, nourishing, if we're not eliminating, we are wasting our time. None of these life-giving nutrients can be absorbed because the intestinal lining is all caked up with a bunch of processed foods. This is your flours, your cheese, your breads, your sugars. This is also the culprit of the dreaded pooch that so many women complain about. That's right, ladies. I hear it all the time with my female clients. They always complain about the pooch. I've seen women, I was a competitive bodybuilder for a number of years. I've seen women that were very, very lean, still had the pooch in the front, and men have it too, not just picking on females, but this is not fat and water, guys. This is toxic food that is caking up in your intestines and is protruding the belly outward. Okay, this is also leading to malnutrition because regardless of how good someone is eating, if you're not absorbing it, it goes right through you. And I see this all the time with our clients. We actually do live blood analysis on them. Because the processed foods cannot escape the colon, the food itself literally becomes toxic. Now we have toxic, undigested food residing in our temple. Okay? And it's being absorbed back into the bloodstream because the job of the intestines is to absorb, good or bad. This is called bowel toxemia, okay, or also known as autointoxication, and is a major epidemic in our country. It is a major contributor to almost every disease that is plaguing us today. Okay, as these toxins back up into the body, out of survival, your body will begin to store these toxins and the acids and the various parts of the body. It's mainly the peripheral parts is where it begins, in the skin and the extremities. And depending on where they're stored, your doctor will give them a fancy name. For example, acids and toxins in the wrist, carpal tunnel, acids and toxins in the knees, osteoarthritis, okay? Acids and toxins in the feet and toes. Gout, acids and toxins in the skin. Dermatitis and eczema, okay? You tracking with me here? Acids and toxins in joint and fingers. Rheumatoid arthritis. And finally, acids and toxins in the tissues, fibromyalgia, and chronic fatigue. As a last straw, as a last-ditch effort, once these areas were filled, then the toxins begin to leak back into the vital organs, and they begin to start filling up. This is where you get full-blown degenerative disease. Okay, this is your cancers, your diabetes, heart disease, and serious arthritis. So, I mean, if we dissect this, when we look at this, there's a lot of diseases now that experts once thought were genetic and hereditary are now realizing that the real culprit is toxicity. It's toxicity. Do not reabsorb your own garbage. Okay, lymphatic acidosis is the part 2 of this puzzle. Okay, lymphatic acidosis is plaguing our country. And I know this is a new term to a lot of us, but this is the second culprit in explaining why our bodies are being taken over by all sorts of unexplained illnesses. Everything from acne to arthritis, canker sores to cancer. Thank goodness we have a lymph/immune system, because this is the major system of the body. Okay. Our body is mostly water. This is 2/3 of our body weight. We've known this. But of this body weight, of this water weight of the body, only 10% is blood and 90% is lymphatic fluid. It is the major system of the body. Lymphatic fluid is the water that surrounds every cell in the body, and as it circulates throughout the body, it travels through your lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are the filters for your lymph. So a lot of times when they're swollen, we're sick. They're full of toxins. It's just simply the filters for all the waste. The lymph is the body's sewer system. It's where all your trillions of cells dump their toxic waste so that they can be eliminated from the body. But for lymph fluid to flow freely, it must be clean. Dirty lymph thickens. Dirty lymph thickens, and it turns to acid. This is called acidosis, and it is the cause for most of our suffering. This is occurring for years and years of consuming lymph-clogging foods like dairy, grains, meats, refined sugars. Okay, big one right there, refined sugars. Cooked foods, high-protein diets, air and water pollution, chlorine, fluoride, heavy metals, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, including chemotherapy, household chemicals, food additives, radiation, all accumulate and cause acidosis as well. As acids burn away at cells, they also begin to mutate and spread. This thick, toxic lymph at this stage literally becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, yeast, fungus, and parasites, which are all linked to cancer. Sluggish lymph also clogs glands and organs and that produce immune cells that strengthen our immunity. And the medical profession likes to just only treat the problems. It goes after specific cancer cells with all kinds of complex, sometimes barbaric methods. Well, the real problem is simply just a toxic lymphatic system. So it doesn't matter what causes cell damage or where cell damage is, the solution is always the same. Clean the toxins from the lymphatic system. This is called detoxification, and it clears the way to let the intelligence of nature do its job. The answer to cancer or so-called diseases is found in nature. Okay, it is found in nature. It is not found in man-made chemicals and radiation. You want to overpower illness with wellness, and a strong immune/lymph system is the golden key to good health. It is the golden key to good health. Detoxification is one of the greatest things you can do for yourself, even if you don't have an illness. Okay? I personally have been studying the art of detoxification for over 18, 19 years now. And through my research and experimenting with my own body, the strongest detoxification therapy I have ever found in my years has been ozone therapy. Ozone therapy literally has the ability to purify and cleanse every single cell in your body. This therapy has been used medically for over 100 years. It first made its mark in medical history in 1856. Check this out. It made its mark by they were using it to disinfect the operating rooms back in the old days. Okay, and in 1896, check this out, Dr. Kellogg was the first doctor to ever use ozone combined with a steam sauna. This is in Battle Creek, Michigan. These are two amazing dual therapies that I'm going to elaborate more on later today. And the famous Nikola Tesla, we've all heard of Tesla and his work. In 1900, he patented the best ozone generator, in my opinion, as the cold plasma method to create ozone, where it uses a super high voltage, a super high current, and a very low amperage, and it creates sort of like a pink plasma field. And some say this is the same energy that covered the ancient Earth, the firmament, is the same. This is the same type of technology. This method is still used today and is one of my personal favorites for creating ozone. I recommend this method over the other generators 100%. I've used every generator across the market. And later today, I'm going to show you guys where actually you can get your own personal ozone generator for your house and for your family. I'm going to go over some of the ozone methods because this is done worldwide and a lot of people are still left in the dark on ozone therapy. There's actually over 24 different ways to apply ozone. Okay, the most common clinical method is called autohemotherapy. This is where they pull out small amounts of blood, okay, or just put it in this container here, for example. We then will blow ozone into that, and then it's dripped right back into the patient. A very, very effective method. The blood turns a beautiful bright cherry red as the ozone is mixed in with it. Another great way is just simply bubbling it into the saline solution. Same technique. Instead of bubbling the ozone into the blood, they would bubble ozone into saline. They would drip that ozonated saline back into you. Okay, and believe it or not, you can even do a direct intravenous injection. This is where they take the gas itself in medical grade form, pure ozone gas, with the proper training, of course, can be directed right into the vein directly, not even mixed with the fluid. This technique has been done since the 50s. I've actually tried this myself. It was unbelievable. The gas can be blown right into the ear. It's a very, very easy method. We go right into the ear with it. This will purify the sinuses, anything with the head, allergies, even brain tumors. Very, very effective with brain tumors. Another powerful method is rectal insufflation. I know it sounds kind of weird, but through the miles and miles of blood vessels picked up from the colon, you're able to flood the bloodstream. That way, we bypass the lungs. Very, very effective method of rectal insufflation. Another one, vaginal insufflation, extremely effective for your cervical cancers, your ovarian cancers, your yeast infections, abnormal tissue cells, precancerous cells, cyst tumors, anything going on in the female anatomy. Vaginal insufflation is excellent. It will purify any infection, fungal, viral, or bacterial. Very, very powerful. Another one of my favorite methods is, of course, the steam sauna, and that is we're going to conclude with today. This is the method I've actually been using for over 18 years. It's combining two old ancient methods where we take heat plus oxygen combined, and it is phenomenal. It is one of the most powerful methods in existence right now we're using for ozone. The reason is because the ozone is flooding the lymphatic system. Most of the other methods out there are really just flooding blood. When, as I mentioned earlier about lymphatic acidosis, a lot of that waste we has is in the lymphatic system. And because of the heat, because we're using a sauna, the pores open. This allows the capillaries to dilate and penetrate. Ozone will penetrate into all the tissues, purifying the blood, the skin, lymph, any kind of fluid in the body. Very, very effective. And because the skin is the largest organ, and it's actually nicknamed the third kidney, so a great deal of the toxins are pulled right out of your body. And this is very important because a lot of doctors will start to do intravenous methods of ozone, IV ozone, and they don't go sweat. Well, all those toxins just get reabsorbed right back into your body. So a lot of doctors will consider the ozone steam sauna is a must, even if we're doing a lot of IV ozone. Another side benefit is once the fat cells are detoxed, the fat cells will begin to shrink because fat is used to store toxins. Okay, so a great deal of weight loss we see is occurred with this particular method. And also increasing the oxygen level to the skin increases the supplements, the elasticity of the collagen elastin fibers. It's great for the skin. Actually, like a giant oxygen facial for the entire body. You also burn about 400 to 600 calories with this method. And yeah, it's probably one of the best I could recommend for sure. I'm going to go over just a few more benefits with you guys on ozone. This is probably definitely one of my favorites. This is actually a document we came across when I was working with some doctors in India, and they shared with me one of the 100 benefits of ozone. So I'm just going to share with these today. Number